How's it guys? Welcome back to the live stream. And in today we're going to be going over the crypto market, and there's a lot of important stuff to discover this week as we have a lot of important news that's happening. So at the moment, let's talk about the current situation. I do want to quickly go over a trade that I am currently in. I am in this Bitcoin long. I did take out a bit of profit at 25,900 because that was our resistance for the lower time frames. So I did take a little bit out over here at around about this level, 25,900, and I left some running because I'm targeting these highs within today. Okay, so currently the market is looking bearish, but I was expecting a bit of a run up today. And yeah, if you guys did take a Bitcoin trade, I would put your stop loss to break even and let this ride out to maybe 26k. But at the moment, yeah, my stop loss is at break even, just in case that this does that come back down. Okay, so let's talk about the whole market, and then we're going to be looking at some potential trades. There are a few setups that I am looking at currently, but I do want to speak about what we have this week, and it's very, very important. So let's take a look at a few coins here. We got 𝗕𝗦𝗧, which is up 8%, 𝗕𝗦𝗧𝗓 up 5%. We have OP up 3.5, and RPL is actually down 11. Phantom's up 3, Atoms up 4. So we have a lot of different coins that are up and down. So we want to be speaking about these coins. So I'm going to go over APT, 𝗕𝗦𝗧, 𝗦𝗧𝗓, because these are the most important coins within today, and maybe see if we can catch a potential trade. But first off, I do want to go over what's happening. So tomorrow we have CPI. So obviously tomorrow we need to watch out, because basically this is a change of price of goods and services purchased by the consumers. So this is on within the American market. So obviously this affects the dollar, which affects cryptocurrency. So if the actual is greater than 0.2, then we can expect there might be a decrease within cryptos within the tomorrow. And then obviously CPI year on year, actual is greater than the forecast, then we would obviously expect a decrease for that as well. So tomorrow is going to be very big. CPI is massive. Then on Wednesday we have FOMC meeting. So be aware this is Dubai time. So basically 10 p.m. This is Dubai time. So you'd have to do the math on that. But we have FOMC meeting tomorrow. On Wednesday, which is massive, and we are expecting a rate hike as well. So a lot of big news within today. Not today, within the week. Okay. So currently, I just want to speak about my prediction here for Bitcoin. So yesterday I posted on my channel that obviously we were trading in this range here. Okay, so the market was trading between this area over here at around about 27,400. Okay, so this was our resistance, and then our support was over here at 26,200. Okay, so we lost that level. What actually happened is we made a double bottom here. Okay, so we made a double bottom, and this is our 4-hour support currently. Okay, and what's actually happening right now is prices looking like we might retrace back up to this level. I did tell people in my community that I was looking for a short at 26,300, 26,200. So I did catch a little short back down within this morning and last night, because that was our resistance. And what normally happens is when you have a double bottom, you normally see a bounce back up to these zones. Okay, so currently I'm long on Bitcoin. My take profit is just these highs over here. I did take, like I said earlier, I did take out half my position at 25,900. And the reason why I took it out there is because I was expecting price to react at this level, and we actually closed above it. So whenever you close above a key level like this, it indicates that price is most likely going to come up, because it's taken out all of the liquidity there. So it's closed above the wick here, it's taken out these lows, and it's closed above this level here. So what we could look for now is a potential new long. So I might be adding to this position if we see a rejection from this 25,900 zone. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin, but at the moment still going to keep this position in, because there's nothing wrong about this position here at all. Okay, so yeah, looking good for Bitcoin on the lower time frames as well. The 4-hour time frame looks bullish within today. So yeah, my end prediction for Bitcoin is obviously this level down here. Within tomorrow we have CPI, and then obviously we have FOMC. So these are the levels you need to be watching out for. Okay, so once we broke below this level at 27K, we actually started to flip bearish, right? So on the daily time frame, we need to start thinking about retracements back down to 25K and 24,500. So I'm actually going to look for a potential long at these zones because of what's going to happen tomorrow. So they are expecting positive numbers for the dollar, which is obviously going to be negative for the crypto market. Okay, so yeah, we need to just be aware of that. There's going to be a lot of volatility and volume tomorrow, same as Wednesday. So just be careful of that. You don't really want to be trading during those times, but that's why I will have some limit orders at around about 25 to 2400 because this is exactly what I'm expecting, right? We know we could break this low, come down, tap into this wick, and see price come back up, something like that. Because this drop over here is not even that big. We can see if we close below here today, it's only around about a 4% drop, and we know with CPI and FOMC, 4% is nothing. So we can definitely see a wick that taps into that zone. So yeah, that's my prediction for Bitcoin. It does look like we are getting a bit of a move at the moment now. Yeah, it looks good here. You could look at this level as a TP zone. This is our double top zone. So you can see over here how price tapped into this level, came back down. Okay, so on the lower time frames, this was just a trade that I took today. I did take out quite a bit of my position at around about this zone because I was thinking that price is coming down, forming this wedge, broke out, potential moves to the upside. Okay, so that's what I have for Bitcoin. I want to take a look at Ethereum. I didn't take a trade for Ethereum, but let's have a look and see what's happening on the lower time frames here. So yeah, I mean, let me zoom in here because this is a bit. There we go. So yeah, so when looking at Ethereum on the daily time frame, this is the most important chart that I'll be looking at here. So what I'm expecting is, Ethereum is still technically in an uptrend, right? Only once we start losing this trend line and this low over here, I would start to flip very bearish back down to the 1000 areas. Okay, but at the moment we are still holding this daily support. Okay, so this is our support. We are still holding it. Still looks fine for price to come back up. So at the moment, I'm expecting bounces for the market, and that's currently what we're getting. Okay, so on the 4-hour time frame, let's actually take the fib from this level here to here. We can expect price to come back up to these zones today. 1800 and 1787. Okay, 1787 and 1800 is a zone that price can definitely come back up to. So what I'll be looking at is I'll definitely look for potential shorts at around about this 0.5 level because that ramps up with the level over here. Okay, so we have a support, and on 0.5 level there's also support over here and around about here. So this level is very, very important. So I will be looking at maybe a potential short at this zone. Your stop loss would have to be above the 0.6, and you could probably target these lows. It's around about a 4% play. So yeah, this is something that I will be watching out for within today. It looks very good. So just keep an eye on that. But the market is looking bullish. It looks like Bitcoin is actually getting that bit of a move here. Yeah, so this is what we were looking at earlier. It looks like we'll probably tap into that take profit zone around about there. Okay. So obviously I did take out quite a bit of my position already, just because I thought it would be a fake out, but it obviously isn't. Okay. So yeah, this is the Ethereum setup. If Ethereum breaks these highs over here, let's have a look. We could look at a potential long. Yeah, I would look at a potential long here. Let's have a look here. This is the support. This is yeah. Once we close above here, we normally come up to this level, around about here. So that could be your scalp for the day. So let's see where that level puts us. That is the high as well. So yeah, let's see how this plays out. But Bitcoin looks like it's actually breaking these levels here. So it looks good. So if the 30-minute candle closes above this zone over here, then we can take some longs, maybe back up to these levels here. Okay, so let's keep an eye on Ethereum. I do want to go over some important charts. So we were talking about 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘, we were talking about Cardano, and we were also talking about Let's have a look. I think it was APT. APT is up around about 8%. I do want to go over Cardano because it's up around about 9% on the day. So quite interesting on what's happening at the moment. Okay, so let's have a look at a few other coins. So let's look at Cardano first up. Okay, so let's have a look here and see what is actually happening. Yeah, so my TA on this one, this was the support over here on the daily time frame. I actually did take some spot orders at around about 23 cents. But obviously I still think that price is going to come down. But I want to expose myself a little bit in the market within Cardano, because Cardano is one of those coins that I would want to invest in the long term. Okay, so obviously investing now would put me in a good situation. Okay, so let's see where Cardano can run up to here. So we have the third level here. It's currently getting rejected from this 0.3. At the moment, I still think that we could see that 0.3050 level. Okay, and where does that put us? If we take this, we want to take a look left. Let's see, that's perfect support, right? So 0.3026 is a support level. Okay, so I'll be looking at a potential short from this level. So keep an eye on this one. This is something that I'm going to look for here. Nice risk to reward here. You would have to put your stop above this high. Yeah, it's around about 1:3 risk to reward. Okay. Yeah, 1:2.8. Okay. So just keep an eye on this trade. I will be looking at this, and the reason why this looks good is because what comes up must come down. Obviously that's theory, but I mean it is how the market moves, right? And we do have a confluence of support and the 0.5 level of the Fibonacci retracement at the zone. Okay, so I will be looking at a short from the zone back down. It is 11% move, so obviously you want to be taking profits, within these zones from the highs to the lows. Okay, so let's see. But at the moment it is looking quite bullish on the short term. Okay, it is looking good on the short term. So let's have a look at APT. I do want to take a look at that because we are up around about 8.5% on the day, which is quite bullish. I would say let's remove all my TA and start from a fresh new chart. I like always drawing new TA when I chart. Okay, so APT, let's have a look here. So it actually tapped into this daily resistance over here. So this was our daily resistance / obviously support, flip to support. So we can actually just label this as daily R/sub. Okay, it did actually tap into the zone. So what we can expect within a couple of days here, remember this is the daily time frame, we can expect price to come back up to, this is the support over here, right? This is a major support, and it corresponds with the 0.5 level like we were speaking about Cardano, right? So similar chart that I'm looking at here. Cardano, I'm expecting price to come back up to this zone. Same with ABT, expecting price to come back up to 7.5. We're definitely going to see some wicks within tomorrow. Obviously with CPI and FOMC, we're going to see massive moves. So when I trade these types of days, what I do is I like to put limit orders at the most unrealistic price, right? So what I mean by unrealistic, I mean that I might even put a limit order at 7.9 because it's unrealistic. But when FOMC comes out, we might get a nice little setup coming back down. Okay, so put it at an unrealistic price rather than a realistic price, if that makes sense. Just there's too much volatility, and if you want to be trading it, you have to be careful. So I would also suggest putting tight stop losses at those zones. Okay, so but if this happens today, I mean, if we do get a nice little run up here, we can look at a short, something like this, where we target these lows. I mean, it is 26%, so it's very ambitious. But the stop loss would have to be a 4% move. So you would have to use maybe like a 5x leverage or even like a 3x leverage, depending on your margin and depending on how much capital you have in your account. So just be careful of this setup because of APT it moves a lot, right? So, but what I will be looking at for today, on the 30 minutes, we can see that this is our 30-minute resistance. If we take a look at the 15 minutes, We'd have to break above this level here because this was our breakout, came back down, we retested this area. So I'll be looking at bars above here for the short term. Okay. Obviously, right now, I'm not going to take a bar. It doesn't make sense to take a bar. But this is something I would be looking at. Your take profit 1 would be at this level here at 6.9. Your take profit 2 would be at this level, okay? But what you need to happen is obviously a 30-minute candle closure. So you have to wait for the candle to close bullish. If it doesn't close bullish above here, then what's going to happen is we're probably going to see a rejection back down to the daily support and the daily resistance, okay? So just be aware of this. I'm only going to be taking a setup if we close above here. But if we don't close above here, well, then it's not going to be valid. We're just going to get rejected, okay? So just be aware of that for APT. So don't take longs now. It doesn't make sense to take a long now. But I do want to try to see if we can catch a trade within today. I don't want to force anything, but let's have a look at Solana, for example. So if we have a look at Solana right now, look at this, right? So what I was expecting for Sol was something that I actually bought a bit of spot at around about 13.9 or 14. So, I was telling people on my Instagram and my that this was the area. Sorry, that's in black. Let's make this white. Put this down a bit so we can see what we're doing. So this was the area where I did actually take a bit of my capital and I did deploy some into Solana. So I believe Solana's got a very, very long life still. Obviously with all the dApps and the ecosystem on Solana runs behind Ethereum, and there's just so much activity with NFTs. And obviously at the moment, NFTs are dying out a bit, but when the bull run comes, I do believe that NFTs will come back with the whole metaverse thing. So at the moment, I'm only up around about 6%, 7% on the setup. I did actually buy at 13.9. So if I actually do take it from there, I've got a nice entry. Yeah, I'm up around 11% on this setup. So this was our support. We were expecting price to obviously come down to here. We didn't expect it to come down so fast, but it is something that I did actually put money into. So for me, this is not financial, guys, but for me, buying Solana under $20 is insane to me. If you look at Solana on the higher time frames, like the weekly time frame, Solana reached the highs of 250, right? So if you're buying Solana at $15, do the math, and you're selling at the all-time high, it's incredible. So yeah, it's something that I'm willing to risk. Obviously, if Solana dies, then the whole NFT ecosystem dies with it. So that's why I don't think Solana is going to die. Obviously, there has been a lot of distrust within this ecosystem. But at the moment, it still looks good, and buying Solana under $20 is genuinely very, very cheap. So that is something that a lot of people, obviously, I do tell people that buying Solana now is a good idea. So even buying it at 15 is something that I'll be looking at. So anyway, let's have a look at the chart. So $16 is looking like the 30 minutes level. Let's have a look here. Where is that zone? Yeah, so I mean, Solana was trading above there for so long. Yeah, so look at this, guys. So this is the support at the moment, right? So if you bring it all the way back to the 10th of March 2023, Solana was at $16. And what actually happened? We had a nice little run up. Carry on going back. Let's have a look. Sorry about that. Yeah, so coming back here, look at this level, right? It acts as a crucial support. Very crucial support. So, we could say that this is a support here at 15.5. We could say this is a level, but the $16 is more of a level because it confluences with this 2023 March level. Okay, so if we see some type of candle closure above this level, I'm sure we can look at a potential long here. So we have this getting rejected right now. We have this. If it gets rejected, you can look at a short. So what I would do is, right now is I would wait for price to obviously close bullish. So if it closes bullish above here, then take some longs back up to these highs at around about 17. But if we get like a very nice wick, so what I expect, a wick like this, and then we close bearish, right? So think about it like this. I'll draw it for you guys. So what I mean. So let's actually make this red, and we can change this to this. Okay. So let's just say that this is the candle, right? Like this, and we get a nice little wick like this to the upside. Sorry, my drawing's not great, but just picture it like this. I would be taking a short from the zone. Okay, so I would be taking a short from the close. I'll put my stop loss above this wick. Okay, and it's also above these wicks over here, and then you can target the lows at 14.5. So that's something I'll look at for Solana. But remember, you have to see a rejection candle. So what I mean by rejection candle, a nice little wick and a bearish closure. Okay. So obviously right now we got none of that. We're gonna have to be patient. But if we see a bullish closure, well then we can take some longs. Because looking left here, there's not much price action here. We might just see a big runner. So Solana, what is Solana up today? Let's have a look here. Where's Solana? I can't even see Solana. Okay, well, it should be here. But anyway, Solana is up. I think it's 0% on thing. But if you have a look at CoinW, you would probably find that. Yeah, it is up quite a bit today. So yeah, sorry about that. I was just looking at CoinW. So if you guys have any charts you want me to go over, put it in the description. I did see that someone put something in the chat, but whenever I go outside the chat, it actually removes it. So if you wouldn't mind just putting that back in the chat so I can see what you said. I'm not ignoring you. If you think I'm ignoring you, I can see the chat, but I can't see what you said because I did actually get out of it. So yeah, let's have a look at a few other coins. Yeah, so Chainlink, I caught such a nice trade there last week. It was a very good position here. Back up to the 0.5 level on the fib. We're expecting price to come down. At the moment, this is something that I'm looking at for Chainlink. So look at this, guys, right? So we have, you can just see what's happening right now. We're getting this level right now is our trend line. And we also have this, right? Like, look how perfect this triangle is here. So if we see a breakout over here, we do have to keep in mind that we do have some type of resistance at this level here, okay? So what I would do is, for a confirmed breakout, okay, what I would wait for here for Chainlink is this. Price to come up like this, tap into this level, then take some longs. Look at this whole imbalance, okay? So this whole area needs to get filled. So what that means is, price is most likely going to fill this level here. I don't know if it's going to be today, but if it is today, well then taking longs would be the ideal situation. So I would look at a long on the break over here to take out this imbalance, okay? And the nice thing about this trade, you can actually have quite a nice tight stop loss. Your risk to reward is 1:10. So depending on your risk to reward and depending on your leverage here, just keep in mind that this is a trade that I'm looking at. So looking at a breakout of this triangle pattern, looks very, very clean. Okay, let me just remove all of this at the top. But yeah, like I said, guys, if you have any charts you want me to go over, there is a chat box. If there's something that you're seeing on a potential trade, or if there's something that maybe I didn't go over, just put it in the chat, and then we can go over it together, as we still have quite a bit of time left on the session. So Chainlinks looks good here, guys. Looks very, very decent. So I'm going to keep this chart open. I want to see how this 30-minute candle closes. But essentially, I'll be looking at a long on the break of this level. Okay. Once we see a break, we could look at a potential long. So something that I'm looking at, right, is this. So we can see a break, take a long back up to the highs, cut out the trade, and then wait to see if price actually closes above here. So that's something that I do like to do. So instead of, because this could be a fake out, right, and get rejected from this level, and we can take a short from the zone. So what I would do is I'll take a long from the zone, back up to 5.227, and I'll take full profit at the zone. But if price closes above the zone, then I'll actually wait for a retest and re-enter a position. Okay. So Yeah, chain looks good. Yeah, let's keep an eye on this. Okay. Yeah, let's keep an eye on this. So I'm gonna put this up here. I'm gonna actually make this color. Let's make it orange. Can't make it orange. Okay, I'll keep it red. Let's keep it red. So we need to come back to that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put an alert here. Put an alert for let's have a look. Where should we put it? So it has to be a breakout of these highs. So let's put it at this level here. Okay. On the wick 5.2. Okay. So once we see this, then we can look at it along 5.2. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so we're gonna leave that. We're gonna look at some other charts, but if it taps our 5.2 level, I'll take a long position back up to this level. I mean, it's gonna be a short trade, right? So it's only about a 1% trade. Your stop loss would have to keep it very tight, but something I'm looking at. And then once we break above this level here at 5.255 or 5.27, I'm gonna look at a potential long back up to fill this imbalance, right? Because like I was saying earlier, this is the imbalance that needs to get filled. So let's just make this white and do this. Okay, so this whole circular box needs to get filled sometime. It might not get filled today, but sometime it will get filled. So we do need to keep an eye on that. Okay. Yeah, so those are the setups I am looking at currently. Matic, I was looking at a nice long for Matic the other day, which was quite interesting. It was actually yesterday. I didn't actually take it because I thought it was going to be a fake out. But looking at the current price action, I mean, it's very clear what's happening right now. That price is looking like it's coming to the upside. Okay, so let's have a look. We do think that price is going to retest these highs within today because obviously the market is currently bullish on the short term. So once we see a break of these highs, we can take some longs. Let's have a look on the 15. Yeah, the 15 can take a break on the 15 here. Otherwise, right, look at this trend line. If you guys can see this, look at this trend line. It's beautiful, right? So once we see this break, we can look at a short. So Matic looks clean here. So wait for either this to happen, target these lows, right? Or wait for this to happen. We see a break of this level here, and then just target these. Let's have a look where we can target. The thing is with Matic, you're gonna have to come very, very far back because it's been trading at such a high price for so long. So what we need to see here is where we can maybe take some profit. So here we go. We have this level here. So what I'm gonna do is bring this down. This is where I'll be targeting for Matic. Okay. So that confluences with the support over here. It's around about a 14% move. So looks interesting what's happening in the market right now. So yeah, this is the trade that I'm looking at. I didn't actually see this earlier. Yesterday. So it's actually good that we went over Matic here. So I'm looking at this trade for Matic, potential short or potential long, because at the moment the market can go either way. So I'm expecting this is just a retracement, right? And obviously, if it breaks the high, then you take a long. If it comes back down, breaks this level, wait for a retest like this. Also wait for a retest here would be good to take some longs. Okay, so at the moment, this is what I'm looking at for Matic. It looks very clean. It looks very good as well. So yeah. Any other charts you guys want me to go over? Just put in the chat. It seems like my chat. I did see someone put something in the chat earlier, but I couldn't actually seem to get that. Yeah. So OP, right? Actually don't really look at this coin too much, but lately I've been marking the price action on this coin. Okay. I have been marking the price action. So you can see with my trading style, I don't use indicators, okay? I don't believe in indicators. Obviously, indicators do work if you know how to use them. But I've never really, I can use the MACD and, the oscillators and the stochastics and the RSIs. If you get a bullish divergence on the RSI, you should take a long. If it's bearish, you should take a short. But for me, it's not something that actually made me profitable at all. It's about pure price action and waiting for candles to close bullish, right? So look at this, right? This is something that I use a lot in my trading, and this is something that you guys can use as well. So what is this right now? Okay, so I'm gonna explain something very, very important in the market. So this over here, I'm gonna highlight this, right? So we're gonna actually make this orange, okay, and we're gonna put this like this. So what is this? This is our range, okay? So this is our range for OP. So what actually happens when you break out of a range? You should look for potential position, right? So something that I like to do is on CoinW you have an order, a position type. So it's called trigger. Okay, so what trigger means is basically it's called a buy stop. So what I would do is I would put a buy stop over here. Okay, so what a buy stop does is instead of you buying at a lower price, like a buy limit, you can buy at a higher price. So this is when you're trading breakouts, using trigger orders is very, very crucial, because when you actually break out, right? So we broke out of this level, the candle closed above, right? So we saw a candle close above this level. Then what actually happened is price retest this level, okay? So retest this level. And what I would have done is I would have had a buy stop here if I saw this. Obviously, I didn't see it, right? So, I'm not in a position, but this is something that you guys can take out of today's session, is creating these trigger orders to actually get in the market on a breakout. Because instead of you buying over here and be like, okay, it's retested, let's take a long. And sometimes it doesn't work, right? Because not all retests work. So what I would do is put a buy limit here, which is a trigger order. So I'll type that in because it's important, right? On most exchanges, it's called a buy limit. On CoinW, it's called a trigger order. So it's the same thing, right? Okay, so you can do it on the sell side and the buy side. So if you want to be selling the market and if you want to be buying the market, it's the same thing. Okay, so what I would have done here is place the trigger order over here, and it's around about a 2% trade already. Okay, so very, very nice setup. Very, very good setup. Instead of you actually, obviously, if you bought here, it would have been a better price, but this is more confidence, because I used to trade Forex a lot, and I used to use this a lot with gold. And gold, actually very, very nice asset commodity to trade. But regardless of that, I used to use this buy limits a lot on breakouts of potential ranges. So OP, very, very nice range, very nice range. Breakout of the range, and you see price come up. Okay, so very, very nice setup, right? So yeah, obviously that is something that I'll be looking at. So currently, right now, if we look at OP, because I'm more of a scalper, right? So I would have taken this setup. I probably would have gotten out over here and waited for this. So I'll be looking at a potential retest as well for here. So let's see on the 15. You can wait for price to come back down to the zone. Okay. So I would wait for that in the next 15 to 20 minutes here. But I'll be looking at this definitely. At a potential retest over here. Yeah. Yeah, so that's OP. Let me just have a look and see here to see if there is something that we can actually take a position. Yeah, we do have to look at the 4 hour to see if there's some resistance over here. Okay, so this is our resistance over here. Okay, nice little resistance there. Yeah, the 4 hour candle closes bullish. Well, then it's going to be long. Okay, so on the 1 hour chart, we're seeing price come down a bit. So because the 1 hour really retested this level, I'd wait for a 15-minute or a 5-minute retest here. Okay, so we could look at this, a 5-minute retest over here, which is something I would actually take a position here. So keep an eye on this. This is something I'll be looking at, a potential long back up to this high at 1.19, and your stop loss would be so small because you would have to put it below this wick. Okay, so you could actually put it below this wick or below here, but when I trade, I like to make it as risk-free as possible. So having a 0.69 stop loss to your take profit of 7% is a 1:10 risk reward. So like, if you think about it, it's something that's it's a risk-free trade in a way. It's not risk-free entirely, but because your stop loss is so small, you're not going to be losing a lot. Okay, so yeah, looking at this setup here for OP, important level, okay? Let's have a look at some other charts. If you guys are liking this stream, make sure you like the video. There's only 96 likes and there's 300 people. So if you are liking this content here, well then that would be appreciated to just tap the screen at least once to make it a 1:1 ratio. Okay, so let's have a look at Dogecoin. Let's have a look here. I mean, Dogecoin, I'm kind of gotten over this coin. So I mean, I used to be a massive fan of Dogecoin. I actually bought a lot of Dogecoin and then I sold a lot of it. I am currently still holding Dogecoin, but I've kind of lost a bit of faith in Dogecoin. But doesn't mean we can't trade it, right? That's a nice thing about futures. If you're not holding spot, well, then you can still trade futures, okay? So this is our current support over here, right? With me, I like to use lines because it's more precise, whereas some people like to use boxes. It's just dependent on your trading style. So obviously we tapped into that 0.57 zone. We actually tapped into 0.53, which is down here, which is quite interesting. So we did actually tap into this low here. Okay, so the figures are tiny. Okay, yeah. What I'll do is that's very strange. It's probably because, let me actually just change this. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll change my display to a bit better here. Okay. Sorry about that. That's very strange. I think it's just because of the monitor I'm using is very big, and it's probably because maybe put your screen on the side, just so it looks a bit better. But let me see here. Let me go to system settings, make it a bit better for you guys. Let's have a look. Okay, so display. There we go. Yeah, let's make it a bit bigger. Is that better? Let me know in the chat if that is better. I did make it a much bigger. That's the biggest I can go. So regardless, we're gonna have to keep it like that. Okay. So let's see. Dogecoin on the daily time frame looks bearish. Obviously tapped into this low here. This whole, I don't like the look of this at all. We can't really find resistance and support there, so we have to go on the 4 hour. We do have a range that is forming here on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. Okay, so on the 1 hour time frame, this is our range. Our current range is this. And look at this. Look how perfect this is, right? Price has not closed above this level, the 0.0622 level. Okay, so we haven't closed above here. So when looking left, if you bring Dogecoin back down to the 2020s, 2022 October, this was the exact same resistance, right? So we would have to start closing above here. Looking over here, this is the level. Look how many times price rejected from the zone. Multiple times, right? So would have to start closing above this level to look at a long position, okay? Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll either wait for price to close above here and take it long on the 1 hour. So what I mean by that is candle closure, right? So wait for the 1 hour candle to close. So that the actual candle needs to close. Whereas if I took this setup right now, you could probably take it back up to the resistance. I mean, I'm expecting price to at least tap into the zone today. Because obviously Bitcoin's looking quite good here, back at the 26K mark. I do have Bitcoin behind me on the chart, so I can see what's happening. It is looking like it's coming down a little bit, but it looks bullish on the day. So I'm expecting Dogecoin to tap into 0.62. So I mean, technically you could take a long now. It's around about a 1.4% to a 0.6. That's 1:2, 1:2.2 kind of. Let's actually see the risk reward on this. Might be a good play. It's a very short trade though, so one is there, and your stop loss below this wick. It's only a 1:1.7. Okay. So wait, if we put this a bit higher, 1:2. There's a 1:2 risk to reward, but I don't like the look of it, right? It's more of a guessing game. But if you guys like this setup, then you could take it. So I'm expecting price to tap into this level here at 0.6230. Okay. So yeah, taking longs now wouldn't be a bad idea. But essentially, I'd rather wait for this setup at the top here. But it depends on, like, if you guys like the setup, well then you could potentially take it, and you can have a very very tight stop loss of 0.7%, which is very very small. Okay, so Dogecoin potential long trade right now. So it depends on your risk tolerance and how you like to trade. But essentially, those are the setups I'm looking at today, guys. I do want to quickly go over the total Bitcoin dominance. That's what I was meant to go over now. Sorry, I need to go back. I need to go over the Bitcoin dominance after this. So this is important, right? Look at this. Let's actually bring this down. So this is why the altcoins are actually getting a little retracement here, because on the total too, right? So what this chart shows us here, let me zoom in because the numbers are a bit small. But remember, this will be posted on YouTube after the session. So if you did miss out, make sure you watch it on the CoinW channel. And I'm also going to post it on my channel. So essentially right now, guys, look at the setup. Okay, so this is the total too. This shows us the market cap of all the altcoins. And the reason why we're getting a run up now is because it's at support. Okay, so because it's at support, we can expect price to bounce. And every time we tapped into the zone, what happened? We bounced. Tapped into the zone, we bounced. Tapped, bounce, tapped, bounce, bounce, right? So, only once we lose this level here, then the altcoins are gonna come back to 437, which is gonna be a massive drop. So at the moment, I'm quite bullish in terms of the day, but obviously this is bearish, right? So like don't get it mixed up. So we bearish on the higher time frames, but we bullish on the day. So the altcoin market cap can drop $81 billion, which is around about a 15% drop. Okay, which is obviously something that we're going to be expecting within the next couple of days here. So yeah, if you guys did take this long, stop loss below this wick here, take profit at the highs. To be honest, I didn't take it personally, but yeah. So if you guys did miss the beginning, we did look at this trade. Yeah, so this is why you wait for a breakout, very important. 30-minute close below, getting retraced. So we're waiting for price to close above 5.2. Then we look for a long back up to, potentially 5.77, okay? So either we take a long at this back up to this zone, or we wait for price to take out the high, retest this level, and look for a long back up to 5.77, okay? So quite important levels at the moment. Like we said on the altcoin market cap, we're expecting a bounce, okay? We are getting a bounce. So maybe what you guys should look at here is, once the altcoin market cap takes out the 524 billion, then we take some longs. But before then, we can't really take a long. Obviously this bounce it's good, but I would like to see a bit of more confirmation of, we take out these highs, then we take some longs back up to this level here, and then we look at shorting back down to this zone, something like this, right? So when you're scalping, you have to take note of all these different things, right? Because this chart is as important as the Bitcoin, not the Bitcoin, the altcoin charts, right? So yeah, at the moment we do need to be patient here. Then APT, if you guys missed this in the beginning, we're looking at a long on the break of this high here. We're waiting for that 1 hour candle to close above 6.55, and then obviously a short at 7.50. Okay, so important levels here for APT. So like we said, APT is bullish on the day. We can expect more upside. APT moves a lot, but essentially we could wait for this. Okay. Yeah, so we've gone over quite a lot of charts here, guys. But I am looking at some bars. Pretty much I'm looking only at bars. So this is, this was that setup, right? look how beautiful this is, right? So this is OP. Like I said earlier, bar limit, it's called a trigger order on CoinW. You know, a breakout strategy that I like to use a lot. I'm sure you guys will start using it now, because essentially a bar limit puts you in the market when you break a certain level, right? But this looks so bullish at the moment. So, you know, I think OP is going to tap into that 1.19 area. So it's quite a pity that we didn't take the setup. You know, I don't want to get it now because we've already missed around about 2%. Okay, so for me, taking 2% on a short-term trade is, you know, a lot, right? So if you're using 20 leverage, then a 2% trade is a loss, and if you're using 100 leverage, then it's 200%, right? So just keep in mind that when you're trading on the scalping, well, then you need to make sure that you're taking profits all the way up, right? Unless you are charting on the daily time frame and the weekly time frame, and you have all these different indicators and stuff. For me, price action is the best indicator. I don't like indicators. I find them very annoying, and a lot of false indicators out there. So obviously, I mean, it's personal opinion, but for me, it just doesn't work. So yeah, those are the setups, guys. If you didn't miss them, make sure to rewatch this video. There is still time for those setups to actually occur, but let's go back over Bitcoin quickly and ETH, and then I'm gonna actually take a break and call the stream a bit of a sorry about that. Call the stream a quit, because we have gone over pretty much all the most important levels for all the charts. So yeah, Bitcoin, let's have a look here. This chart is not the one I'm looking at. There we go. So yeah, this long I'm currently in, you know, I'm still going to stay in it. I still expect price to tap into this 26,149 area. Like I said earlier, I did take profits at 25,900 because there was a resistance there. But yeah, I mean, this is what's going to happen today. I mean, I'm expecting this level here, 26,300, potential retest back down. But if we start closing above here, well, then we're going to see a nice fake out to the upside, look at potential longs. But I would expect price to get rejected from the zone. I mean, we broke the lows. You know, looking at this is just price coming up. So like, if you had to draw your trend lines on this chart, right? Let me just take away all of these levels. Like, this is something that I'm looking at now, right? Like, look at this, okay? So we have this trend line getting respected, and we have this trend line over here, okay? So we could look at a potential short at this level here, okay? The reason why I'm looking at a potential short is because we have a trend line here. We have this whole level here, 26,200, 26,300. We should see a dump from this level, okay? So at the moment, yeah, I'm still going to take this long back up to the resistance, okay? Yeah, so that's Bitcoin. Quickly go over ETH, and then yeah, if you guys have any questions, quickly put them in the chat. We can go over them. But it looks like you guys are all square with what's going on in the market. This is the setup that I'm looking at for ETH. Like I said earlier, you know, this is quite ambitious, but I am looking at this because we have such important news tomorrow, a CPI, and then obviously on Wednesday we have FOMC meeting. So yeah, this week's crazy. So just be careful when you're trading this week. But that's why I'm putting, like I was saying earlier, you put your sell limits and your buy limits at ambitious areas, okay? So what I mean by that is you want to be putting sell limits at like 1832, because that's where price can wick into, okay? And that support. So we can see a massive wick tomorrow from CPI, and then we take a sell. But if you put it over here, your entry is going to be terrible, right? So rather put it at higher levels, because you don't know what's going to happen in the CPI. But I wouldn't suggest trading CPI. This is just obviously if you enjoy it. But I wouldn't trade CPI or what's it, FOMC. So yeah, I mean, technically, let's not just trade it, because I used to trade CPI and FOMC when I was trading Forex about 3 years ago, and I actually lost quite a lot of money trading it. So I don't trade it anymore. But what I do is I plan it quite strategically. So what I would do is I'd put a sell limit over here, and I'd wait for this to happen. get a little wick, come back down, sell over here. If it's bullish, well then I'll take out my profits at this level. So it's something that I've been doing for the last couple of months, and it's been doing great. But yeah, if price comes back down here, you can take some buys, vice versa. Okay, so yeah, thanks so much, guys, for joining my session today. I do appreciate everyone being here. I hope you guys did enjoy the session. Obviously, if you guys did miss the setups, we did actually post them over here. Like, if you want to go back to the video, then I would suggest going back, because we do have a lot of setups that we're looking at. APT, ADA, Chainlink, Solana, Doge, looking at a Doge. We're in actually that Doge long. What else? OTC we didn't look at. OP we're looking at a long, but on the retest. So we got a lot of setups. We got a Ethereum short. So make sure you watch it again if you guys did enjoy this. I appreciate you guys watching today, and see you guys next week, Monday, where I do this every Monday. So if you like my training style, if you like my techniques and how I explain things, then obviously, you can join me again with next week's session. Okay. So yeah, I appreciate everyone being here, and I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.